What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're ranking the Scream movies. This is a horror franchise that I am very new to, but I'm actually joined by Andy, and he's a pretty big fan of it.
Hey guys, what's going on? Good to be back on here with you, talking about Scream. Perfect time for this right now.
Oh yeah, Halloween season, spooky season as people call it, in full force. Only a few more days till Halloween, so we figured today would be a good day to sit down and rank this horror franchise, directed by Wes Craven, rest in peace of course, but there's 4 Scream movies, and we're just going to rank them from least favorite to favorite. We share the same list, by the way. I think a lot of people do. Definitely comment your list, your ranking of the Scream movies down below, and consider hitting the like button before we give our list. But kicking this thing off at number 4 is going to be Scream 3. This movie came out in 2000, and it's just the weakest in my opinion. Like, the opening alone kind of kills a character who I thought was going to have a more crucial role, and then from there it was just almost boring. Like, the first hour was so drawn out.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying about that, especially the character who they kill off. It was disappointing into his character. What I did like about the movie was the set of Woodsboro that they did was cool, and the cast of characters that they put in the movie was cool, especially that one girl that was imitating Gail the whole movie. I liked their dynamic back and forth.
I love how self-aware this franchise is, which I'll probably say that about every movie, but especially this one because it's playing on how horror franchises usually get 30 sequels, and they're shooting Stab 3.
That was clever how they did that. The killer in Scream 3, we're not going to say who it is, it's pretty lame how they do it, and I hate the voice changer. It's a big part of the movie, the voice changing device that they use, and it just ruins it.
A little too far-fetched and convenient.
Yeah, it feels like a game, that movie does.
The final reveal was fine. This is just the weakest in my opinion. So coming in at number 3 for both of us is Scream 4, which came out in 2011. It's the newest Scream film, and this one is the most violent for sure. It's the most over the top when it comes to kills.
Yeah, it definitely is the most over the top and violent movie. The opening scene of Scream 4 is my least favorite of all 4 movies.
I probably agree with you.
And the opening scene is a big part of all the movies, I think. But the cast of this movie might be one of the best. It's definitely not the best. The first one is. They have a lot of modern characters in it, like Emma Roberts, Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Going off the cast, like you said, there's a lot of small roles, but that really does supplement the cast. Kristen Bell, I believe, who's in Frozen, and Anna Paquin have a scene. Hayden Panettiere for Remember the Titans in this movie.
She's in it.
So it's a pretty loaded supporting cast. Even I'm forgetting his name. He plays one of the police officers. He's a really funny comedian.
I know exactly.
He's in
Transformers.
Yeah, he's in Transformers. The story is a little pushing it at this point. It's how are we going to keep making more Scream movies?
It definitely is.
But the reveal, I will say, I didn't see coming at all.
No,
personally.
And the story feels what I was going to say, adding on to the story, is it feels way more modern, obviously, because it is. There's a lot more texting stuff, social media stuff. They're in high school, same as the original Scream, but characters in Scream are way older than this. Dewey, Gale, and Sydney are all older, and then the kids are younger. It's a good mesh of them.
Yeah, and there's a huge aspect of the movie involving live streaming where this one character is wearing a headset. In the end, I was surprised by it, and I will say it's probably the second scariest of them all. It goes back to the horror roots, while the third one was more of a comedy.
So coming in at number 2 for the both of us is Scream 2, which came out a year after the original Scream, and I mean, this movie is really fun and entertaining, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I enjoy it quite a bit. It has the most similarities to the original Scream. It just feels like such a great direct continuation. It takes those great aspects. It has a lot of characters returning, especially Randy. It just works so well as a direct sequel to the first one, while kind of taking a new spin on it. And 3 and 4 are good. They still continue the story. 1 and 2 could stand alone, I feel like, and we could have never gotten any sequels. I like 3 and 4, but 2 just does such a good job of continuing the story. It goes from high school to college. I like that transition.
Yeah, literally. It really continues the story so well, and the college campus feel of it is really good. I love the cast in this one as well, Timothy Olyphant, Jerry O'Connell, all them joining the cast, and then the originals carrying over. Dewey and Gail's relationship in this movie I love. I like their dialogue and everything, and then there's some shocking moments in this movie, really there is, and I was pretty shocked on who the killer was.
Yeah, the killer, it's fine. I did not expect them to go that route. I like the way Wes Craven kind of crafts these movies as playing on the horror genre in and of themselves, and how Randy is always talking about, the horror sequel. I just like that so much. Probably my favorite character in the entire series.
One little really good scene in this movie I love is the scene whenever they're in the car and they get in the crash and everything.
Yeah,
and they have to climb over the killer. That's it's a classic horror scene. I feel like
this movie does such a good job of same with the first one, of blending the comedy bits with the horror. and it kind of strays away from that in the third, but Scream 2 is really solid. Coming in at number 1, if you haven't guessed by now, is the original Scream. This movie came out in 1996, And the opening sequence of this movie alone locks you in. It's one of the best horror openings of all time. And you might even say it's one of the best openings of all time in movie history.
And I think we can talk about spoilers in this one because it's so it's so a classic movie. Yeah, no, definitely it is in my top 2 opening scenes of all time. It's so damn good how Wes Craven gets the atmosphere perfect for this movie. It's Drew Barrymore is such a great actress, and it's so iconic that she's in this role, and she gets killed 11 minutes into the movie, and it's just brutal how she dies.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about this movie going into it. They could have been setting her up as a main character.
Yeah, she's on the poster.
And
That's crazy how she's on the poster.
Yeah, and they just kill her, and right there it sets the stage for the rest of this movie. You get introduced to Sydney, and there's a group of characters. One of them's probably going to be the killer, and I love the way that things are hinted at on rewatch that make it really obvious. Not in a bad way, but when you rewatch the movie, you're like, oh, how did I miss this the first time?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of killings that go down. Of course, Ghostface appears throughout, but the final act at the party is where everything really goes down, and the final 20-ish minutes of this movie are just completely wild.
Yeah, and Ghostface as a killer is a great villain, a great iconic horror villain. At the end, when they reveal who it is, who they are, 2 killers, one of the best twists.
Yeah, it's Billy and Stu is the name of Matthew Lillard?
Billy and Stu.
They have great chemistry. Matthew Lillard's acting in particular, I know you've praised it. It's so great how he's stab me right here, and then they actually stab each other.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard's my favorite villain in the Scream trilogy and Scream series. He's so good. I like Billy too, but Matthew Lillard just gets another dimension, I feel like.
That ending is just iconic in and of itself. The way that it ends with Gale Weathers doing the news report, taking you through the house, and it's just brutal. The reveals are crazy. People keep getting shot left and right, and I swear there's a fake jump scare every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I love the last 30 minutes of Scream. It's one of the best parts of cinema ever. It's just so good.
Yeah, I adore it. This movie is a horror classic that I think definitely stands above the rest, but they're all really solid. So yeah, that's going to do it for our ranking of the Scream franchise. Definitely hit the like button and comment your ranking down below. I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you put any hot takes, if you put any of the movies above the first one, I feel like that's a hot take in general. So
yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, I feel like most people will put the original Scream at the top. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for future live streams, collabs, content in general, horror videos. I know that it's almost Halloween, so keep watching horror movies. And yeah, thanks for joining, Andy. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. It was good to film, and happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, happy Halloween, and until next time, see you guys later.